Finally, some big changes going in the direction for Social Security. So some good news coming out. I'm going to be sharing with you an article that came out yesterday from the Hill that says the State of the Union address. This is going to be the perfect time for the Biden administration to renew their promises to expand Social Security. So if you're somebody that's been waiting to see Social Security reform, increases to Social Security, an expansion of the benefits, modifications to taxation, extending the solvency, a lot of the issues that people have been wanting to see addressed on Social Security, they're saying that the Biden administration is now thinking about taking this time in the State of the Union address to finally renew these promises that many people have been waiting for quite some time. And let me know your thoughts. We had heard during the Biden administration promises of $200 per month increases across the board for all Social Security recipients, including retirement, SSI, SSDI, survivors, anybody on the fixed income benefits for Social Security. We had seen tweets coming out from Biden saying, you deserve $200 additional per month to keep up with the costs of living. A lot of people waiting to see that fulfilled and feeling let down and disappointed that those promises did not come to pass. We also heard that last year, 2023, was going to be the year of Social Security reform, that those recipients that depend on these benefits could expect to see modifications. We saw Congress bring lots of bills to the floor. However, nothing came to fruition. And during the State of the Union address, Social Security was one of the key things that came up during that address. And we actually saw Republicans and Democrats fighting on the floor during that time, shouting, as President Biden said that Republicans wanted to cut Social Security, and they said, no, we do not. A lot of discrepancies. However, we have still yet to see anything come to pass. And now we're seeing articles coming out that there's information that the Biden administration is again going to make Social Security a key speaking point during the State of the Union address. And let me know your thoughts. Now, I mentioned this in previous videos. A lot of people waiting to see Social Security reform, saying they actually have lost hope in the Biden administration, are not planning to vote for him because they feel like he has not fulfilled his promises yet. In polls that I've done on this channel with people, they have said that if Biden changed his tune, even right now, this close to elections, and suddenly did reform for Social Security, that they would vote for him, that they could be persuaded to vote for President Joe Biden if he actually came through on Social Security reform. Now, let me know your thoughts. What if over the course of the next month or so, Biden came out and he said, Social Security in the State of the Union address, we're going to take care of the board, change taxation so that way we can extend the solvency. We're going to change the CPI readings for the cost of living adjustment from CPIW to CPIE, so that way your COLA increases are larger. We're going to take care of those people on Social Security. If he did that, would that change your mind? Let me know in the comments. Put a yes in the comments. If it would, put a no. If you are set, no, it's too little, too late. Let me know your thoughts. Because what we're hearing is this is going to be the strategy of the Biden administration. This coming out from the Hill. And again, all of my articles are cited, they're sourced, they're linked in the description so you can read them for yourself. And I'm seeing a couple yeses. Vince and Tammy saying yes. I'm seeing Dawn and Leslie saying no. Ruth saying no. Several no's pouring in. I'm seeing A Small saying yes. Violet saying yes. Seeing several no's. Dennis saying yes. So a lot of people saying that yes, they are willing to change their mind and continue to vote for President Joe Biden if he fulfills this promise, regardless of if it is not in the time frame that people would have liked to have seen it. But I'm also seeing a lot of people saying no. So very interesting to see the room split the way it is. Some people saying yes, they're willing to give him a chance if he will pull through on this and actually make good on his promises. Other people saying no. It has been 3 years. And just to clarify, that tweet that he sent out about reforming Social Security, that was in March of 2020. That was, might have been January. I know it was right around the time when he was elected as president, and people have been waiting to see those promises fulfilled and are feeling like they have not come to fruition. But what I'm sharing with you today, this coming out in the last 24 hours, is that the State of the Union, this is going to be the perfect time for the Biden administration to renew their promises to expand Social Security. We're hearing it could be a hot topic item. Now, do me a favor. I'm going to dive into the details, get you caught up as to what they're saying. Before we do me a favor, smash that like button for me. Just takes a second, helps out the channel a ton. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything, Don't forget, hit subscribe to stay up to date. Turn on that notification bell to be notified when I go live, or I've got videos that are important for you and your family. And also, there is a lot going on right now with cybersecurity, cyber warnings, and attacks. We are hearing about conflict all over the world. Pinned in the description, if you are somebody that depends on medications and maybe you're getting impacted by the cyber attack that hit this week, pharmacies. I've been hearing so many people saying their medications are delayed. If we have a serious cyber attack that takes down pharmacies and things, and you can't get a hold of your medications in a time of a crisis and you're relying on them, consider joining this website that I've added, lifesavervault.com. I've worked specifically with doctors and pharmacists to put this together to help you get prescriptions or to help you get additional medications ready just in case for you or your families. There's add-ons, there are different prices that you can purchase it at. Go ahead and click that link. Go check it out for more details. If it's something that's available that you would be interested in, I want to provide as many resources as I can for my community. If not, no worries, but want to make things available. Also, the free guide is in the description as well for what to consider if we have power grid failures. So trying to provide more and more resources for the community. So check that out if you're interested. And the Sugar, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, hey, I just got on. What's happening? Well, for those of you just hopping on, I'm going to be covering the latest going on with the Biden administration bringing up in the State of the Union address renewals for promises for expansion for Social Security. Now, this just coming out yesterday, and it says, at last year's State of the Union, President Joe Biden memorably called out Republicans on their support for Social Security cuts. Now, reportedly, Biden is considering focusing on Social Security yet again in 2024 in this year's State of the Union address. So we're going to be seeing what he says as he brings up Social Security in the State of the Union again. And you know, let me know your thoughts. I saw a lot of people saying, yes, this would persuade them to vote for him, by demanding that millionaires and billionaires contribute their fair share to Social Security. So we have seen the Social Security Expansion Act, which would essentially put additional tax on anybody making $250,000 a year or more. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were the proponents of this bill, saying that this would extend the solvency. I think it was for another 75 years, if I remember correctly. Also, the Social Security 2100 Act was brought up by Representative John Larson, and he has been a major proponent for Social Security reform. He is also saying that there needs to be changes to the taxation to extend out the Social Security solvency. In the 2100 Act, he states anybody that makes $400,000 a year or more, they need to be taxed with additional tax to pay into the Social Security program. And this would extend the solvency as well. I want to say that it was another 50 years or so. I can't quite remember the specific numbers, but that is another one that's proposed. And now we're hearing that President Joe Biden is going to be maybe bringing this up as a main key point in the State of the Union address coming up here very soon. This is both wise policy and winning politics, this article says, particularly if Biden pairs it with a call to expand Social Security's modest benefits. And again, we had heard Biden before promising to increase the benefits. And what's very interesting is that we had heard promises, Social Security increases, and child tax credits. We have been hearing this for the last 4 years since we've been in the pandemic, almost coming up on 4 years, 3 years. And we had heard child tax credits would come back. And when they came back, that there would be benefit increases, and we are seeing this happen right now. The other one we had heard was Social Security increases, and it might be time for them to make good on that promise here. And surprise, surprise, these things are now coming back during an election time. Now, let me know your thoughts. What has suddenly brought it back to their memory after 3 years? Could it be that elections are right around the corner and they want to pass pieces of legislation that make good on the promises right before people go to vote, so that way it is fresh on their minds? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But we're hearing that this is coming back. We saw Social Security and child tax credits promised, and now we're hearing that this one is coming back. So this article says that reportedly Biden is considering focusing on Social Security again in this year's State of the Union address, by demanding that millionaires and billionaires contribute their fair share. This is both wise policy and winning politics, particularly if the Biden administration pairs it with a call to expand the modest Social Security benefits or increase the amount of payments that go out to recipients. Now, Social Security is strikingly superior to its private sector counterparts. It is more efficient, universal, fair, and secure. The system's one shortcoming is that benefits are too low, averaging only $1,770 a month or $21,240 a year. That's low in absolute terms and by international standards as well. It does not replace enough wages to allow Americans to retire with drastic declines in their standards of living. So simply not enough going out is what they're saying. How can anybody live off of $1,770 a month? That is absolutely incredible. Expanding those modest benefits is the solution, they're saying. And we've also heard that this has bipartisan support. Republicans and Democrats alike want to see Social Security reform. The problem is how to do it. They can't see eye to eye, and they also fight over who's going to be getting credit for reforming Social Security. And with all the fighting going on, nothing's getting done, and time is running out. With pensions in rapid decline and 401ks inadequate or non-existent for all but the wealthiest, our country is facing a retirement income crisis. Expanding Social Security is a solution to that crisis. Now, currently, the wealthiest Americans do not contribute into Social Security on their wage income above $168,600 or on any of the unearned investment income. If we require millionaires and billionaires to pay in all year long on all of their income, just like the rest of us, we can afford to protect and expand Social Security's modest benefits. Doing that will help address today's income and wealth inequality, a primary cause of Social Security's projected shortfalls. Now, let me know your thoughts on this. Now, one of the things is that what you put into Social Security, you should also get out. So my question would be, if we're going to increase the amount that we require millionaires and billionaires to put into Social Security, are we also going to give them more? Is it fair to make someone pay in tons more, but then also not have them get tons more of a payout? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I've heard arguments for both, that if they make lots of money, that they should pour into it more, but then are they going to get paid more? Are we entitled to other people's money just because they make more money? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd be curious to see what you think. Tax the rich, or should we also take into consideration having them have higher payouts as well? Now, Democrats, Republicans, and independent voters, they're all united in support of protecting and expanding Social Security. Democrats in Congress have answered that call by championing several Social Security expansion plans. Now, these include the Social Security 2100 Act, as I mentioned. This one is sponsored by Representative John Larson, and it is co-sponsored by nearly 90% of the House Democrats. And there is also the big one originally that a lot of people wanted to see passed, the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, that one is championed by Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and that one called for the $200 per month increases across the board. None of these bills have a single Republican co-sponsor, even though Republican voters overwhelmingly support these provisions. Instead, Republicans, along with a small number of corporate-friendly Democrats, are pushing for creation of a fast-track commission designed to cut Social Security and Medicare benefits closed doors. Speaker Mike Johnson has said such a commission is a top priority, and House Budget Chair Jody Arlington of Texas has demanded that it is as a condition of keeping the government funded. Now, 94% of Republican voters oppose Social Security cuts, and 72% want to expand the benefits. So Republicans oppose cuts, and they want to expand the benefits. But Republican politicians have a different priority, cutting the benefits to make sure that the wealthy donors will never have to pay their fair share into the system. So this particular author on this one that is giving the update about this is saying that Republicans want to cut the benefits to help with the budget, but they're opposed to the cuts, and that they also want to expand the benefits that go out to recipients. Just wanted to share with you that this sounds like it is more of an opinion that's starting to come out in this particular piece. This year's State of the Union is the perfect opportunity for President Joe Biden to explore this division between Republican politicians and their voters. During the address, Biden should call for the expansion of Social Security and paying for it by requiring millionaires and billionaires to contribute at the same rate as the rest of us. Just as Biden challenged Republicans last year to join him in opposing Social Security cuts, This year, he should challenge them to join in to support the expansion of the benefits, given that most congressional Republicans are Grover Norquist acolytes who have pledged not to raise a single penny in taxes on the wealthy. They are likely to refuse. This will show voters which party stands with them and which party stands with the billionaire class, they're saying. It will also box in Donald Trump. Unlike many of his fellow Republicans, Trump claims to oppose Social Security cuts, although his record as president when he proposed cutting benefits every single year shows otherwise. But Trump has stated he opposed expanding benefits, giving Biden a clear point of contrast. Now, in 2020, Biden ran on protecting and expanding Social Security. As we mentioned, the State of the Union is the perfect opportunity for him to remind American people of that promise, because in the past 3 years, a lot of people feel like he has not made good on that promise. He should let the American people know that when he is reelected, he will work with the Democratic Congress to expand Social Security for all current and future beneficiaries, this article reads. Instead of allowing Republicans to hide behind closed doors and push for cuts, Democrats should ask for the voters to elect them so that they can expand Social Security. The next place to highlight that stark difference between the parties is on March 7th at the State of the Union address. Nancy Altman is the president of Social Security Works. Now, I got to say, there's a lot of opinion in this particular article. In my personal opinion, let me know your thoughts. This article is saying that people should vote Democrats so that way Democrats can go ahead and expand and extend Social Security. But let me know your thoughts. In 2020, they had full control of Congress and they did not do anything. People have been waiting for them to fulfill their promises for 3 years now, and we are yet to see it come to pass. If anything, I think it's possible that we might see it this year, finally, might see some progress because it is an election year. But as I did that poll here on the channel, I feel like a lot of people are saying no. We've been hanging on these promises for 3 years now. It is too late, too little, too late. It is time to switch. However, this particular article is saying that if Democrats are going to stay in power, that they will pass this. And they're saying that Republicans secretly want to cut the benefits. And I think that that is just simply an opinion piece on this particular one that is slanted bias towards the Democrats, because I think that there's bipartisan support to help secure Social Security. The thing is that we also have people that want to be fiscally responsible and maintain the budget. Now, can they do this in a way that they can not harm Social Security? Regardless, if they whatever they do, they have got to do reform. They must understand that we have roughly 8 to 12 years before we have a solvency issue, and there will be cuts across the board. If they do cuts, people will get cuts to benefits. If they do nothing, people will get cuts to benefits in the next 8 to 12 years. So they have got to do something. The only solution for those receiving these benefits is that Congress has got to do something. Doing nothing is the same as essentially doing cuts, because we're running out of time. So in my personal opinion, this piece that is stating that Democrats are the party that's going to expand Social Security, so far, the last 3 years have not shown us a good track record, because in the beginning of 2020, they had control of the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and they got nothing done for Social Security. Now it is a split Congress, and time is running short. Regardless, we need somebody to champion Social Security, get this done for the people that are relying on it. Inflation has been out of control. The cost of living adjustment is not keeping up. $200 per month would be great. But also, what about the taxation? Nobody has addressed the taxation. We've seen bills proposed not getting traction. There are several different components to this that need to be addressed, and it is not a partisan issue. Bipartisan across the board believe we need to take care of our seniors. So pointing the finger at one party or another, it just seems silly. The fact of the matter is we need to take care of those that rely on these benefits. Now, hopefully, unfortunately, despite the motivation of why this might come up, let's say it's simply to get elected again, the good news is hopefully this will come up in the State of the Union address, as we're hearing that the Biden administration is planning to do. And when it does come up, hopefully we will get some traction, some legislation. Maybe we'll see a bill actually get to the floor for a vote. And if that is the case, Hopefully, this will mean something good for the American people, even if the motivations aren't the purest by Congress. The fact of the matter is, hopefully, it will put more money into the pockets of those who desperately need it, that rely on these benefits for Social Security. So we will see. I will keep you up to date, but we're seeing articles coming out like this on Social Security. So, like I said, we will see. The State of the Union address is coming up, and when it does, we will see if the Biden administration brings up these potential benefits. We will see. I will keep you guys up to date. And again, do me a favor. I see we've got 756 people on. If you appreciate the updates as these are rolling out about the State of the Union address and that the Biden administration is planning to bring this up, if you appreciate it, do me a favor, hit that like button. I see Callie J from SAC mentioning that. Yes, just takes a second, just help spread this out. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll keep you up to speed on Social Security, everything going on in our world right now. And also, as I mentioned, if you're somebody that requires medications, and we had that cyber attack with pharmacies this week that has delayed several medications, and you want extras ready, go to lifesavervault.com. I have it pinned in the comments for you. This is something that I've worked on with doctors and pharmacists, physicians that are going to be pre-made packets ready. So that way, in a time of crisis, you're not waiting, relying on pharmacies to fulfill subscriptions when things are down. So you can have some backups ready for you. Go ahead and check it out if you're interested. That is pinned for you guys. But that is the latest. I will keep you guys up to date on everything. I hope this is a blessing to you, and I'll keep you up to date as more information comes out. But potentially big changes could be coming because it is an election year, and the State of the Union address is right around the corner, and I'll keep you up to date every step of the way. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.